Happy Wellness Wednesday, guys. I'm Angel Faulk, the fitness angel, and it's cold. And I just taught classes, so I've got my coat on. But I'm so happy to be here. And I'm real excited that we have Dr. Doug Odom with us as our special guest today. And guys, I know his story, and you probably know my story, but I'm going to share real briefly how we got to be friends. And he's the best mentor you could ever ask for your health, for your business, anything. So I'm going to just tell my story really briefly, and then I'll introduce Dr. Odom and let him share his story. So most of y'all know I'm the fitness angel. So I love fitness. I'm all about working out and in the gym. But before that, my degree is actually in education, and I taught second grade. I did that for 5 years and then became a stay-at-home mom. Then I wanted to join the gym, but didn't have money in the budget. So I started working at the gym, and then I started teaching classes because that's what I really love doing. So that's kind of how I got in my fitness world. And, we were doing great and life's going on. And I started losing some hearing in my right ear, and I knew something was up. Go to the doctor. And he says, let's just wait and see if it gets worse, which I always tell people that's not a good protocol, in my opinion. Dig a little deeper. If there's something wrong, there's a reason. So time went by, and I did lose all my hearing, and thank God finally got an MRI and had a tumor, realized we had a tumor growing, or I had a tumor growing into my brainstem with tails like a monster, intertwining the nerves, keeping me alive. So of course, we were all shocked, but to prepare, the doctor said, okay, you've got to have surgery. And thank God I got that, because y'all, if I didn't have the surgery, I could have died in my sleep and never known. And they said that happens. Sometimes people don't listen to the signs that their body's giving them. So if you have signs, listen and keep being proactive and go after your health, because nobody's going to care about you like you, right? Nobody's going to take care of you like you. You have to take care of yourself. So got a 14-hour brain surgery and had to relearn to walk, talk, swallow, everything again. And they said that it should not grow back. There was a tiny bit residual in there they could not get. And it was just so dangerous. So a year later, I go for my MRI, and it had grown, and it was huge. And they said radiation. So we all know that's poison, but I did it. Sometimes you have to weigh the cost, right? And so I did the 27 rounds of radiation and did well throughout until the end, when my hair fell out. I had spots all over my face. They said your teeth might fall out, all kinds of issues. So I got serious about my health after that. I finally, after a couple of weeks, recovered and started doing my own research, how to be healthy. And every medical professional agreed on one thing, and that is we need more fruits and vegetables. And guys, it sounds so simple, but when you've been through any kind of chronic illness, or you're over 50, or you're pregnant, or you're nursing, or you work out a lot, you need about 20 servings a day to fight the stress on your body. So that's hard. It is hard. And just for a normal, healthy, younger person, I think it's 9 to 13 servings. And they change that sometimes, I think. Dr. Odom can tell more about that. But it was just hard. So I was trying to eat more and do better. And my kids had issues. My son had asthma and eczema and allergies. My daughter was chronically constipated. She lived on macaroni and cheese, by the way. I did not know. And when you know better, you do better. So a friend of mine who's a nurse told me about Juice Plus. So grateful. And she took me to an event to hear a doctor, kind of like Dr. Odom shares. And I was just like, yes, sign me up. Kids are free. Oh my gosh, this is the best thing ever. So that's how I got started. And, thank God my son now does not have asthma or eczema. Now the allergies are not as bad, but they're much improved. And then my daughter doesn't have her issue anymore. So, what you put in your body really matters. And I'm so glad I started Juice Plus. And I actually signed up to be a partner the same day I ordered, because I wanted the best price and I wanted my whole family on it. And it made sense to me. But I really did not care so much about the business. All right, then I just wanted to be healthy. I just wanted to get my family healthy. And that's how I started. But then as my kids got older, my son was in high school, my daughter was in college, I felt like I should be working and making money, because if you're a stay-at-home mom, you can't do that forever, right? Or maybe you can, I don't know. But I just felt like I needed to go to work. So I tried going back to work full time as a health coach, because I loved learning about health and nutrition and all of that, and love helping people. But I was in a cubicle 8 hours a day, and I was miserable. I know Ellen was in all my fitness classes before. And when I went to work full time, I was just a very sad person, because I love having the freedom to go to the gym and do what I want. So when Dr. Odom called me, and he saw my name on a report and realized I had been consuming Juice Plus regularly for quite a while, and I had told a few friends, I had some customers. He just point blank asked me, do you want to make this a business? And I said, yes, absolutely. I believe in it 100%. I know what it's done for my family, and I would love that. And he offered to help me, and it's changed everything. And they always say, when you're ready, the teacher arrives. Is that a saying? Something like that. When you're ready, the teacher shows up. So I was at that point ready. And I always tell people, on your journey, things change, things shift. You might start in one area and then change your mind and just decide to go for it. And that's what happened to me. And so Dr. Odom will get in his car. I just got to brag on you a minute. He will get in his car and drive anywhere to help anybody. I mean, he is so wonderful. He comes to Tennessee all the time. He lives in not Jackson, Mississippi now, Oxford, Mississippi. But he's driven to Franklin numerous times, Murfreesboro numerous times. I have a team in Alabama and Kentucky and Illinois, and you've been to all those places, Florida, all of those places, and helped us so much. And I know we also have team in UK and Australia. That's our next big trips, right? But y'all, Dr. Odom is a retired OBGYN, 45 years experience. So I love that he knows women. He understands women very well. He delivered over 17,000 babies. And he also has been with our company 25 years now. It keeps going up. Yes, 25 years. And he's been recommending Juice Plus to all his patients and everybody he knows, because he has his own transformation and his own health story, and he knows the power of it, and he knows the research. And I know I've heard you say many times, if it wasn't for the research, you probably would not be doing this. We are the most researched nutritional product in the world. You can ask Siri. And I love there's copycats out there and knockoffs, but they don't have any research, and they don't have a food label. Those are a couple of things that set us apart, because we are actually the fruits, vegetables, and berries that we should be eating every day. But our company just found a simple way to put them in a capsule and a chewable. So Dr. Odom, who also was the medical director for an anti-aging clinic. Sorry, I ate some almonds before I got on here, choking me up. And so he knows women's health from the womb to the tomb, as they say, right? All ages and stages. So Dr. Odom, I would love for you to share your story of why being healthy is so important to you.
Well, thank you so much for that introduction. Thanks for the invitation to share my story. And thank you, ladies, for tuning in. And some of you have heard this, could probably do a better job of telling it than me. But my story really begins in 1988, when my mother was diagnosed with colon cancer. And the day that she was diagnosed, she had an obstruction. Her surgeon was a friend of mine from medical school, and I visited with him the evening after her surgery. And I said, I'm 44 years old at that point. What do I need to do so that I don't get colon cancer? In other words, do you have some suggestions for me? And he said, certainly. The first thing is you need to get a colonoscopy. This was a Monday evening. He said, get it this week. Don't put it off. Don't wait for symptoms. Usually your insurance will pay for colonoscopy when you're over 50. So he was just saying, be proactive, go and have yourself checked out. I've had 7 since then. They've all been normal. Um, so it's one of the preventable cancers. And if you're over 50 and you haven't had it done, you go to sleep, you're unaware of what they're doing. You wake up, refresh you. Prior to the procedure, you clean yourself out and you feel like you lose 5 pounds. So you really feel good anyway. But it's nice. The best thing that doctors do, period, is reassurance. So it's great to wake up from that versed and hear the words, yep, clean as a whistle, come back in 3 to 5 years. But I would encourage you to just like pap smears, cervical cancer is preventable, but you've got to do the necessary steps on the front end. So anyway, he said get a colonoscopy. He also said give up red meat or cut way back. He said you need to eat as much high fiber food as you can. Drink more water. He didn't say purified water, but clean water. Today we have to really worry about everything that we drink or eat. And the fifth thing that he said literally changed my life, changed the direction of my medical practice. He said, consume as many antioxidants as you can. Now, a lot of people back in 88 were taking vitamins, multivitamins or vitamin combinations. And so when he said that, consume as many antioxidants as you can, I kind of skipped over the consume part and I focused on antioxidants. And I did what most people were doing. I started taking vitamins. Well, we take medicine and we take vitamins, and vitamins and medicine do things to the body. And the food that we eat, as he was saying, consume, and as you emphasized, Angel, what Juice Plus is real food. So get in the habit of talking to others about not taking these capsules or taking these powders, but consuming them, because that really sets us apart and emphasizes the food label that we have. But so that led to a 10-year period of me investigating and evaluating, and some people say do their own research, but I was trying to read as many articles as I could about antioxidants and how they work and where they're found and what they are. And so during this time, virtually everything that I read repeated what my sister, I had talked to her about Juice Plus to see maybe she's a registered dietitian. She was in Connecticut working for Head Start, preparing meals for kids in a daycare type of situation. And she poo-pooed Juice Plus. She said nobody should get their nutrition from pills, and certainly I'm sure that this probably has some merit, but the idea is forget about that approach. You just need to eat better. And at that time, this was in the early 90s. At that time, the recommendation for intake of fruits and vegetables was 5 servings. A serving is only a half a cup. It's not much, but 5 servings, as we found in the past 2.5 decades, is not nearly enough. So we need upwards of 10 to 12 to 15 and even more servings. And that's what we're realizing. And there's so many reasons. The food today is not what it was 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago. It surely has changed since I was a child. The quality of the food, the way that we grow it, what we spray on it, what we do to it, what's in it, it's terrible. And then genetic modification changes everything. So our body doesn't even understand or recognize these foods that we're eating now. And instead of them being food, so many of them are just calorie sources, in my opinion. So, and what I'm really talking about here is processed food. But back to my sister, she finally agreed if I bought Juice Plus, she and her husband would be consistent and they would consume it. So she did that for a year. And after that time, I asked her how she was doing. Could she tell any difference? And she did promise me she would be consistent. She didn't promise me that her husband would be. My sister's tiny, but she lost some weight. Not that that was her goal. She lost some inches in her tummy. She didn't have a goal. She just was uh, appeasing me and agreeing to do it. But it made such a profound difference for her that she actually agreed to go to a boot camp up in New England where Jeff Roberti, Cheryl Cortese, and a few others spoke. And there were several physicians that were talking about the merits of antioxidants and phytonutrients, plant compounds that function as electron donors, which is the definition for an antioxidant. So my sister, after that, called me. It was a Sunday afternoon. She was driving home and she said, okay, you've convinced me without trying to convince me. I need to get involved with this because I really do feel good. I haven't had a cold in over a year. She was having a little joint issue. She just didn't have the energy. Anyway, those were the things that she noted that changed for her. And so, long story, she joined this mission, and we had some wonderful time. Maybe 20 years of that time since I had joined. So we traveled all over. We got to impact an awful lot of people, and that's why I went to medical school, is to make a difference in other people's lives. Again, you don't have to be a doctor or a nurse or even in medicine if you just understand the science. And so the science is important. And you're right, Angel. I wouldn't be on this call. I wouldn't be marketing Juice Plus. I wouldn't be recommending it. And I surely wouldn't be teaching and helping other people on this mission to impact everybody's lives and inspire healthy living around the world. When you were talking earlier, you were talking about the signs of your something's not right here. I can't hear, and the doctors. And when the doctor, in fairness to medicine, there are an awful lot of situations in medicine where we do conservative observation. We just watchful waiting. And it means don't be too aggressive. You don't have to stick needles in people's heads to stick a needle in there and see if they have a cancer, see if they have normal tissues or whatever. Because where am I going with all this? The body, this human body that we're blessed to have one of, it is a healing machine. And if we just give the body a chance to heal, and certainly if we give the body the component parts so that it can heal itself, it's amazing. So just temperate watching observation is a strategy to just see if the body will heal itself. But if it doesn't, if conditions get worse, if that mass on your wherever is growing, or if it's painful, it's certainly time to look at it and maybe even think about getting it out. So I'm not saying that every issue, but there is a place for that, and especially when the diagnosis and or the treatment is potentially injurious, you might want to just take the conservative side and give it a little time. But with all of that said, and back to when you said, yeah, listen to the science, listen to the signs, and you were talking about listen to your body. And it really got me thinking even more deeply about listen to the science, listen to the science. And you're right, if we didn't have solid science behind Juice Plus, and I love the fact that we do. Early on in my Juice Plus journey, I was offering Juice Plus. I didn't buy it for them. I was sharing it with patients, and especially my pregnant moms, about the benefits. And I had experienced personally in my own body a reduction of inflammation. And my inflammation was in my joints. I was developing arthritis, and it was becoming very painful, and multiple joints. My mother had rheumatoid, so did my grandmother. I was really worried about developing that. But over a 6-month period of time, my joint pain essentially disappeared. And when I was thinking about it, it couldn't be that those pills that I've been consuming. But when I went on vacation and forgot them, and I was miserable 2 weeks later because we scuba dive, we're active, we like being active. And I was thinking maybe it was lifting all those heavy tanks and walking across sand, carrying all the equipment for my younger kids and my wife, because they're helpless. Not really, but anyway, I was thinking I was just doing too much. But when I got back from our trip, I got back on a consistent consumption of Juice Plus powders, and within a month I had no more pain. So I said, gee, it can't be that much. But then I really stepped up my evaluation or research, and of course it is, because the common denominator for all chronic diseases, including arthritis or joint pain, is inflammation. And next month is Cardiovascular Health Month. So when we say cardiovascular, it's not just your heart. The number one killer in this country is heart disease. But it's not the heart that fails usually. It's the vessels that are bringing nutrients and oxygen to the heart muscle tissue itself. But it's the inflammation in these vessels, these arteries, coronary arteries, that leads to an obstruction. In order to be preventive and in every area of the body, we just need to reduce inflammation. So we realize a lot of this inflammation is because of our actions and our activity. And I was a wannabe athlete. I was small, but I tried hard. So I ran races. I rode bikes. I did triathlons. I trained for the Ironman, qualified to go to Hawaii. And it finally dawned on me, the more I was exercising, I know you're the angel, you're the exercise fitness angel, the more exercise without an excellent diet, the faster we age and the faster we develop these chronic diseases like arthritis, or worse, these things that kill us. So that was a wake up for me. It wasn't that I was exercising too much, but it's all about balance. Everything in this world is about balance. But everything in the human body is about balance. And so the best thing that we can do to live the longest, and you're right, I became an anti-aging expert. The best thing that we can do is bring the body back in balance, but not just bring it to that balance. It's called homeostasis, but keep it there, keep us in this homeostatic situation. But you ladies, everybody wants hormones to be balanced, when they're out of whack, and that was a very common complaint, they're out of balance. But the body, when it is balanced, your hormones balance so much better. Your body can make that happen. But we just have to focus more on reducing inflammation, bringing the body back into a balance. And so when I realized that a pregnant situation can be compared to a lifespan of any human, male or female, but in that space of 266 days of a pregnancy, you're exposed to the same amount of inflammation. There's a more technical term called oxidative damage or oxidative stress. And now we're realizing that oxidative stress is just too many free radicals. Well, what is a free radical? It's an oxygen compound that's missing an electron. And because of that, it's potentially dangerous to all of our cells. So down on a cellular level, the idea is we want to reduce inflammation there as well. And so how do we neutralize free radical damage? We neutralize it by adding antioxidants to the consumption of our diet, or to our food source. And the definition of an antioxidant is it's an electron donor. So I've heard many speakers and many lecturers. I've read many books on how to reduce oxidative damage and oxidative stress, how to live longer, die shorter, how to have a healthier, better quality lifespan in a very shortened unhealth span or disability. And the way to do that is to consume as many antioxidant-rich foods every day as you can. Michael Pollan summed it up in 8 words or 9 words. He said, eat real food, mostly plants, not too much. Just that's our entire message. Real food, though, mostly plants. You don't have to be totally vegan. It doesn't hurt if you are, but you don't have to be. But we're just not focusing on what we need to do individually to have better quality of life and to reduce the risk of developing all these chronic diseases and reduce the risk of advanced aging. You're in control of most of this, not all of it, but most of it. And now we realize so much that lifespan is what it is. It's just a goal. It's a number, but you can outlive your lifespan if you spend most of your life focusing on healthy choices. And most of those choices center around the foods that we get to choose to eat every day. Decisions. So just make a decision today. I'm going to do what I can to improve the quality of my nutritional intake. It should be mostly plants. The more that we can, the more consistent that we can, the longer that we live and the better quality. And there are thousands of studies all over the world in the last 70 years that say that the more plant food, the better your health, the better your overall health. And so that's our message. It's pretty simple. I'm giving you an overview here. It is simplistic, almost to the point of it couldn't be that simple. You mean give up processed food? You mean reduce animal source anything? Certainly lessen the amount of sugar, even artificial sugars, and regardless of where they come from, sugar is inflammatory. It's also addictive. But cut back on these things that are contributing to chronic inflammation. And you get to choose every day. We all get to choose. Focus, though, on fiber and phytonutrients. This is what's found only in plant food. You won't get that in processed, and you won't get it from animal sources. So what we know today is so much more than I knew in 1998 when I started with Juice Plus and on this journey. So we know today that your gut health, what's going on in your intestinal tract, your digestive system is so key and important for your overall health. We never knew that when I was in medical school. That was 50 years ago. But we know today how much that influences what goes on in our digestive system. And we're learning that we're hosting bacteria, and we have 10 trillion human cells, and there are 100 trillion bacteria that we're hosting. And we get to choose which bacteria are predominating. And if you want good health, what we're finding is you need to have a predominance of the beneficial bacteria. They fall under an umbrella called Bacteroides. The non-beneficial bacteria fall under an umbrella called okay, help me, Angel.
I was about to say Firmicutes.
Firmicutes, there you go, exactly. So we get to choose which ones that we're encouraging to thrive inside of our digestive tract, primarily our large intestine, our colon. And we're finding that Firmicutes thrive when we eat more processed, when we eat more sugar, when we eat more animal sources, when we eat more artificial food. So you don't want to have a predominance of those bacteria. But this is how simple it is to correct this. And when you do have that, it's called leaky gut. But this is how easy it is to correct that. Focus on plant foods. Not too much, but focus on plant food. Fiber and phytonutrients are what feed these good bacteria. So when we're doing that and we have a predominance of the good bacteria, then our digestive system works so much better. It's actually more protective. Those beneficial bacteria are actually helping us make vitamins and make compounds that are so healthy and so helpful to the human body. And when we don't have that predominance, we're not making nearly as many of these neurotransmitters that are so beneficial for us. But it's your good bacteria that are encouraging and producing along with other parts of your digestive system. So we're also finding that we have the ability to turn our genes on and turn them off. We have 46 chromosomes, we have 23,000 genes, and we get to choose to turn on the good ones, the protective ones, and turn off the destructive ones, like the breast cancer gene, as an example, the BRCA gene. And we're finding more and more that one of the major influences of turning them on and turning these genes on and off are the foods that we choose to eat every day. So we should be, in one of our studies, one of the science areas of science with Juice Plus, one of our studies was done at Newcastle in Australia, and it was looking at inflammatory genes, and we're able to turn on over 1,100 protective genes and turn off almost 500 destructive genes.
That's incredible. And I'm sorry to interrupt, but I was just going to say, if anybody wants that recording, just let us know. We have it all on one of our websites, and the research is outstanding. Definitely.
Okay. So I'm trying to be attentive of time. I know you told me.
Yeah, it's about time to wrap it up.
Yeah, so I was getting to the end of my story, but I love being able to just share this with people. It's not rocket science. I do have a son who is a rocket scientist, an atmospheric physicist. He's a school teacher. He loves that even more. But this is a simple concept: more plant food, better health. So Juice Plus isn't the exact same thing. It is a little different, even though we can say, look at the science. When we look at science of what whole food, fruits and vegetables and berries in particular can do, and then compare it to the science, the research papers that have been written with using Juice Plus and being able to quantitate an outcome or a result, it's almost the same thing. So it's not, but it is very close. So Juice Plus is a way to augment the intake of fiber and phytonutrients, and can help all of us slow down aging and slow down the development of these chronic diseases that are miserable, that we don't have to have. So even if you don't change your diet, if you just add Juice Plus, we're finding that over time your cravings change, and those cravings are due to the bacterial balance in your gut sending signals to your neurons, your nerve cells, of which over 70% are found in the guts, called your second brain. We're learning so much about that. But this is a great journey that we're all on, and I welcome all of you that are just starting, or those that are well into your journey, that I hope that you gained a little bit more belief and confidence being able to share Juice Plus after our message today. Thank you, Angel, for allowing me to share it.
Oh, thank you so much. I always love hearing you and learning together. And I was going to actually show the video for the epigenetics. I'm glad you touched on that, because that's incredible. If you were born with a gene for cancer, you can turn it off. That's just amazing science. You can turn good ones on, bad ones off. And I love that the study was done on Juice Plus, and the research is all available if anybody wants to see it. I do want to share what we have. So I'm not showing any videos today. The fruit and vegetable blend. This is what I started with right here. When you order this, you can get it for a child at no cost to you. I'll tell you the ingredients. The fruit is apple, peach, cranberry, orange, mango, lemon peel, acerola, cherry, pineapple, prune, date, and beet. And guys, I don't eat all of these every single day, but with Juice Plus, you can get it every single day. And that's the deal breaker, right? Every day. And then the vegetables, broccoli, parsley, tomato, carrot, garlic, beet, spinach, cabbage, lemon peel, rice bran, and kale. Okay. And then we have these blends, the berry and the omega. I'm so glad we added these to what we have. So the berry blend has raspberry, bilberry, blueberry, cranberry, pomegranate, Concord grape, blackcurrant, blackberry, elderberry, artichoke, and cocoa. And then the vegan omegas, we skipped the fish and went straight to the source because fish get omegas from what they eat. So we have, it's not only the threes, but it's the perfect balance of the omega 3, 5, 6, 7, and 9. So I love that. And we have chewables for children. These are the little pocket packs. So if anybody's watching this and you want samples, these come in pocket packs. They also come in the larger bags. But these are great for lunch boxes, purses, whatever. And I just love sharing them. And then, of course, we have our protein powder. We have the vanilla. And this is the macronutrition. So this has the perfect balance of your protein, fiber, lots of fiber, and your fats. And it's just so important to have this in your body every day. It helps you to stay full. It can be a meal replacement if you want. We just are on day 10 of our shred. I know Brandy's doing it. I'm doing it. Anybody else doing the shred right now? Kelly's doing it. Ellen, good. It's yes, Dr. Odom. And many of us live this way. I mean, it's a lifestyle. But when you drink 2 of these a day, it's so filling, and you're getting 15 superfoods, which is just amazing stuff you don't normally eat, like broccoli sprouts or spirulina. So important. So we have that. And then it comes in chocolate. It comes in the little box like this with the single serve packs. If you travel or you go to the gym, you can take this with you. And then also, I forgot my Perform. I don't have my Perform with me because I made one. We have a new protein just for especially athletes. Anybody active can use it. But it has 25 grams of the vegan protein, and it has amazing ingredients like beetroot and tart cherry, and helps open up your blood vessels. It increases your blood flow, helps your cardiovascular system. So that is what we have. Our company is very simple. Everything is vegan, plant-based. We do have bars if you prefer bars and don't like the protein powder. And then we have a tower garden. Mine's in my kitchen. I should take it in there. I'll be showing some pictures of it later though, because it's looking really good. Lots of kale, spinach, a way to grow your own fruits and veggies, indoors or outdoors. If you bring it indoors, you have to have the grow lights. Kelly still has hers outdoors, still growing broccoli, even in this crazy weather. I love it. So it depends on where you are. I know some people in South Florida keep them outside year round. But anyway, if y'all have any questions, please reach out to the person who invited you. We are here to help you and just help as many people get this nutrition in their body, because even my vegan friend, Barbara, who couldn't be on today, she said even after being vegan for years and years, she knew she wasn't getting enough. And I love sharing that, because a lot of people think, well, I already eat fruits and vegetables, I don't think I need more. But none of us get enough, guys. And some of the benefits, my favorite benefits are more energy, better digestion, better immune system. And I know Brandy has an immune system call coming up soon. And guys, you just feel so much better. And our skin study, you really start looking younger. The people I know who have been taking this for 20, 25 years, it's just amazing. So thank you guys for jumping on. I appreciate you. And I'll be getting this downloaded and put on my YouTube channel sometime this afternoon. All right. Love y'all.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you, Dr. Odom. That was wonderful.
Thank you.
Jack says hello.